Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Princess Leah 888, and this is your daily divine messages from spirit, our weekly wisdom. Seeing what this week has in store, our second week of April. I'm sorry I have not been keeping up to date this past week of the Daily Divine. I did not do one this past weekend, and I did not do a weekly wisdom last Monday. I was actually trying to do one last Monday. That was actually my solar return, and so I had a really busy scheduled packed day, and I wasn't able to get to it. I had it um, planned and scheduled everything, and wasn't able to get to it. The 4/4 portal weekend wisdom was also cut. So, the daily divines have been interestingly, um, I guess, put on a little bit of a halt, a pause. And I am, seeing it as a necessary pause, a necessary break. Sometimes that's what we need in life is a necessary break and pauses to let you rest, reflect, recover, and prepare for the next chapter, the next journey, the next adventure. And that's what it kind of feels like right now. We have so many planets in Aries. It's about, I think, like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 this week. Mars just moved into Aries last Thursday, the 9th. Obviously, we have the sun in Aries. We have Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, all in Aries. And that is a very strong, powerful initiative energy. As we are beginning a brand new zodiac wheel, zodiac new year, as well as these brand new cycles with Neptune after 160 years, of Saturn after 30 years, and Chiron is in its final degrees of Aries. It's been in Aries since 2018. Chiron, the wounded healer. These are all planets. Mars is the planet of war, of conflict resolution. And Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. So there's just a lot of, I'm hearing intensity and resolution that wants to be had. There's tension that wants to be resolved. There's conflict that wants to be reconciled. And Aries is trying to figure out how to do that. Chiron and Aries, the wounded healer, learning how to heal your identity, your personal self. That's what Aries is. The first house that represents is our personality, our ego, our identity, who we are in this physical form. And so, as we're learning how to heal and align with that true, authentic version of ourselves, we're seeing the areas and the places that we have to, for lack of better words, break up with. We're seeing who we have to break up with within ourselves. For some, it may be actual people, could be relationships with jobs, with family, with friends, with lovers, or it could be with a part of yourself, certain versions of yourself that are no longer healthily serving your greatest and highest good that you need to break up with. So let's see what Spirit has to say about that today with all these planets in Aries, what it is that we can help move us forward. Saturn in Aries is also around the karmic cycles that are ending and returning, recycling. What is it that we want to recycle? What is it that we want to end for good? Habits, patterns, addictions, toxic codependencies, toxic ways of living? Do we want to end those cycles, generational cycles of abuse, of addictions? Do we want to end that, of poverty, of lack mentality? Do we want to end that, or do we want to recycle that into this next 30 years of Saturn? Do we want to end? Are we ready to end the generational cycles and woundings of the last 160 years with Neptune? The illusions that are finally dissolving, that are now clearing. Can we release those? It's not easy though. It's not pretty. It's not fun. It's a lot of ego release, a lot of ego death, for lack of better word, in order for your spiritual rebirth to awaken within you. So give yourself grace and patience, and give yourself space to rest, to reflect, to forgive yourself, others, to release, to purge. Okay, let's go ahead and tap into our heart space chakra, our heart chakra, sound bowl healing. See if there's any intuitive downloads. I know I've already been chatting for 6 minutes or so. But if you're new to my channel, welcome, beloveds. I am an intuitive healing artist, performing artist. And so on my channel here, you'll mostly see me doing tarot and channeling for spirit, as my mission is to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love. But also as a student of love, a seeker, a student of life. I pour my creativity in other outlets as well. Sometimes I channel music as I write music, and sometimes I feel like singing as I sing. Sometimes you'll see me posting videos of dance as I channel messages through that as well. But today we're going to channel through the heart space of the sound bowl chakra and through the tarot, the Akashic Star Child Tarot, the Beyond Lemuria Oracles, the Moonology, and the Four Agreements. So if you want to stay with me, thank you for being here. Hit that like button if any of this resonates with you. And if you want to be a part of my small vibe tribe, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I go live. And so let's begin. You can go ahead and place your hand on your heart. You can close your eyes and take a deep breath. I'm having a downloaded message of consistency, who you're showing up as consistently in your relationships, in your everyday life, on all platforms. And at first I saw social media, all the different social media accounts. How does your social media consistently showcase who you are? Or is it scattered, or is it different for different platforms? What does your Instagram look like versus your Facebook versus your TikTok? What are you posting? How do people see you when they first look at your social media? This is for those who this is related for. Maybe you post, maybe you are beginning your content creation. Maybe you are recognizing, the other day I was sitting in a master class, dance class, and there was a Q&A afterwards, and the teacher, told us that the biggest resume that we can have with us nowadays is our social media. So for those who are on the road to content creation, of soul expression through arts. Maybe that's something that you're looking at. How are you showing up? How are people seeing you? And, are you showing what it is that you want to be essentially selling? Or are you saying you want to be booked for these things, but then are showing these things, other things? And that goes across for anyone, not necessarily just the social media aspect. That's for a very small select few. But I'm also seeing it on a grander, more broader general essence as well. In your work space versus your family space versus your friends and your lover, your children, who are you showing up as? Are you a different personality with each of them? And sometimes you kind of have to be, right? Like you can't be kikiing at work necessarily with your job if it's more of a formal conservative place the way that you would with your girlfriends. And my apologies, I thought I put my phone on silent, but um, that's a message too. Are some does does that alert you? Does that make you feel like you are holding back? Does it make you feel like you are not showing all of your authentic self? And is there a way that you can show all of your authentic self in all these different platforms and all these different relationships while also maintaining and respecting the environment that you're in? You're not going to share the same things with, your lover as you might share with your family, or you might not share the same things with your family as you might with your partner or your friends or your work colleagues. I'm seeing a house and how you're not going to let everyone just come in to your house if you don't know them that well. And if they do come in, what are your house rules? Are you going to make sure everyone abides by them? Do they have to take their shoes off when they come in? Do they have to hang their coats up? Do they have to not sit on furniture? Like some houses are that way. My house, the rule is take your shoes off when you come in. And if you don't want to take your shoes off, you can put shoe covers on. I have them in the basket. And I have to abide by that rule for everyone, because if I don't, even myself, because I notice if I don't, and my son sees me do it, or my sister, or someone, my partner, or someone sees me do it, they might think they can do it too, right? Even if it is my own house and my own rules. But that's something that I think is really important to think about when it comes to this Aries energy of who you're showing up as in all these different relationships. And if you are, showing up as someone different, or having different, saying different things and showing up in different ways is not always bad. But it's, are your values staying consistently? Or are you going back on your own personal values and rules in relationships because you want to keep that relationship, or you don't want to hurt that person's feelings, or you don't want to lose that relationship? So you, instead of holding true to your house rules, right? Your self values and boundaries, you might let it slide a little bit. Maybe this one time you can wear your shoes inside, or maybe, if I slide, maybe I can slide, let this one slide with this person. But if you do that with this person, you might do it. So this is something to think about. I'm hearing that's coming up this week. So we'll pull some more cards, because this is a lot of downloads that's coming through, but I don't want to spend the whole time chatting on this heart chakra. But thank you, Spirit, for tapping that into the heart space, because that is actually very, very deep and relevant. And let's see what the cards have also to say. I feel that in my heart. Thank you. Now, this sound bowl is a different kind of sound bowl. It's not a crystal sound bowl, it's a metal sound bowl. So it sounds much differently. It's a deeper tone than other sound bowls you might hear, like Janae Aiko's. But the vibration is what I'm tapping into. And the thoughts that come through as we're tapping into that vibration is the way I hear the Holy Spirit speaking through me. Gracious, omnipresent, divine, God. You can call it however you want to call it. Spirit, divine, source, Jah, Allah, the higher power, the creator. So let's see what this message is for this week here. We have the High Priestess, yep, for this week in reverse that wants to show up at the bottom of the deck here. And that is, moving kind of quietly, secretively, that might feel with that High Priestess energy that seems secretive, but really what it is you tapping into your higher self, connecting with the Most High, connecting with your true, authentic, highest self, with Source, aligning with Source, knowing this is beautiful energy. The High Priestess is that original divine feminine energy of non physical essence, of sensuality, of our emotions, of our creativity. And we all have feminine energy within us, regardless of our gender or how our bodies are created. The feminine and masculine energy is a balance, a yin yang. And the feminine is that non-physical. That's how I see it. Some may say it's the opposite, but I believe that the feminine is the non-physical. It is the creative. It is the receiver, the receiver of downloads, the receiver of wisdom. The High Priestess also has that light and dark pillar because that is where she is able to take all of her experiences and use them for her greatest and highest good, even if they were unpleasant, even if they were challenging, even if they were hard, even if they were painful. She's taking all of those experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, and she's tapping into her wisdom by leading with radical acceptance for what has occurred, what she's going through, what she's moving through. The High Priestess is the same overall, regardless. She stays the same overall. Her character does not change. Her boundaries do not waver. Her essence, her purity, her light, her strength, her faith does not shake or move despite what comes her way, despite what mistakes she or choices she makes. And I got corrected because I hear the mistakes are, you know, are only choices that you don't learn from. That's the only mistake you can make, is to not learn from your choices, is to not learn. But you can never get it wrong, as Abraham Hicks says, my favorite quote. You can never get it wrong, and you'll never get it done, because we're always changing, we're always expanding, we're always learning, we're always unfolding. The Six of Swords here at the bottom of the deck, see, she's moving out of this fog. She may have to enter the fog first in order to move through and out of the fog, of the confusion, of the chaos, of the clutter, of the mind. The swords are of the mind, the page of crystals under that. There's a hidden gem planted within her. And take this as it resonates. You may, I'm saying she, her pronouns for the sake of ease right now, but you take it as it resonates for you. The Six of Swords is getting out of dodge, getting to clearer, calmer waters. If things feel, again, that Aries, Mars, conflict resolution, energy, God of War. The Six of Swords is the card that comes after the Five of Swords, which is the card of war, of conflict, of having to set boundaries and cut people out. And the High Priestess is here to help you do that. And that could be in a spiritual sense. What are you spiritually cutting out? What is not in alignment with your spiritual highest being, highest self? What is not aligning with you in this physical matter, in this physical realm on earth that you have to move out of? What do you mentally are moving through, moving out of, if your mind is cluttered with fog and you can't see clearly? Sorry. Let me see if I can change this, because again, I know that when I get a notification, I think it messes up the sound. So hopefully you can still hear me all right. But yes, you are moving through realms this week. Number 41 might be a significant number, soul path number, an age. Moving through realms, moving to calmer, clearer waters, moving through the parts in your mind that are very cluttered right now, foggy, unclear. High Priestess is here to help us seek that clarity, to come tune into our spirit guides. Look, so we can move into alignment. So, yes. Number 18. So we can move into alignment. These are the ones that also kind of want to come through, and we can move, and that alignment will move us into our freedom. Beautiful. The ethers, the she of the lotus, the radical expansion. She of the lotus, she has gone through. That's very High Priestess energy as well. She has gone through the mucky, murky, foggy, unclear waters. Lotus flowers only grow in muddy, murky waters. That is a symbol of, regardless of what you have gone through, you are here today as the lotus flower, beautiful, starting at one, at ground zero. My air just turned on. I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully it's not too loud. Because you are radically expanding. What you have gone through brought you to a new ground, a ground zero, ethers. Starting from the beginning, it has shaped you. It's shaped you. And it is expanding you. It is bringing wisdom. What do they say? There's a difference between wisdom and intelligence, or knowledge and intelligence. Intelligent knowledge is knowing the facts. Intelligence is gaining the wisdom from the experience. Can I close this? Knowing when it's time to close the doors, knowing when it's time because the distractions are too loud. Look, ooh, look at this. Nothing will come of this situation. What? Void of course moon. So, what I'm hearing with that, don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Right now, Virgo is in South Node. Pisces is in the North Node. Your past. Don't let your past hold you back. Virgo energy is that grounding, that Mother Earth energy. But it also, in the shadow aspect, can be the perfection, paying too much attention to detail to the point where you won't even move forward because of it. So if your past, right? If your pain, if your trauma, if if all the mucky, murky waters that you've been swimming through that is still swimming and fogging up your mind, fogging up your ability to move forward, fogging up your ability for radical acceptance, fogging up your ability for radical, what I was saying, radical expansion, fogging up your ability for alignment and thus freedom. Look at this, balance forces, internal explorer. Don't let your past hold you back. Look within, deep within. See what it is that is not going to come of this situation. See what it is that you need to let go of. The past, the trauma. Nothing will come of holding on to the past. Nothing will come of the situation if you continue to let your past hold you back from the radical expansion that is here for you. Mm, I feel that. That's deep. Thank you, Spirit. And that is blunt, direct, like Aries. Okay, I'm an Aries sun, hence my solar return last week. And sometimes we Aries can be a bit blunt and bit direct. And that can also be something that we can work on, but it can also be something that is important because you need to know where you're going. Otherwise, you need to get clarity on situations. Otherwise, you're walking in fogginess and that holds you back from your freedom. It binds you, it limits you. Nothing can come from a situation where you are still holding on to the past. You cannot move into freedom. You cannot start from the beginning. You can't start over. If you don't learn from the wisdom of your experiences. Look at this. Express your love. Be impeccable with your word. The first agreement of the four agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Look at this. Say goodbye to sadness and drama. Your best is changing all the time. Mm. Say goodbye. Don't let your past hold you back. This week, don't make assumptions. Say goodbye to sadness and drama and your past and trauma and the pain that you've been through, the pain that you've gone through, in the pain that you're going through. All of the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions. All of the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Someone may not like to hear this, but this is what Don Miguel Ruiz is saying. The whole world of control between humans is based on what? Making assumptions and taking things personally. Ooh. Take a moment to consider this. Don Miguel Ruiz knows that we're not going to like this response, to say goodbye to the sadness and drama, to that you're taking it personally. You're making the assumptions and you're like, no, they did this to me. I can hear it. I can hear my own inner critic and my own inner voices and my own inner, Don Quita Doubt and Fear Alicia and Sarah Sabatura. I can hear it all saying, no, it's their fault. Why? Why should I have to say goodbye to the sadness and drama? I'm not making the assumptions. I'm not taking it personally. They did this to me. But still, even if you think that way, nothing will come of that situation. Nothing will come of the situation if you cannot say goodbye to the sadness and drama of your past, of the assumptions that you're making about what has happened in your life. It doesn't mean that you weren't sad and that you weren't hurt, that things didn't work out your way and that people weren't being cruel or didn't take responsibility. Doesn't mean that what they did was okay. But now you get the choice as the high priestess. You are the high priestess today. You get the choice to radically expand out of your past and into alignment, into freedom. That is where true freedom lies. That's where true balanced forces occur. Look, 18 alignment, 19 balanced forces. 25 might be another number. 11, 43, 40, 32. These numbers might also be significant for you. All you can do is your best. And your best is changing all the time. That's why radical acceptance is here with the high priestess. That's why radical expansion is here. Expand even if it seems like nothing will come of the situation. Expand your heart even if it seems like there's nowhere to go. There's nothing left to do, even if you don't know what to do next or where to step next. Radically accept what has happened. Radically allow, radically expand, because that is what will bring you into the radical alignment with your true, highest, authentic self. That is where the true freedom lies. Is not in being able to do everything you want to do, but being able to move past, to release your past, to release the pain, to release the sadness and the drama. Thank you, Spirit. Look, your best will depend on whether you are refreshed in the morning or tired at night. Your best will be different when you are happy as opposed to upset, or healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. So, all you can do right now is your best, even if it feels really hard right now to say goodbye to this past, to the past versions of you. What did we talk about at the beginning during the heart chakra sound bowl healing? Breaking up with the old versions of you, the toxic versions of your past, the toxic connections that are no longer serving you. Breaking up with the habits and the addictions, breaking up with who you used to be and who you thought you had to be in order to be accepted and loved and validated. Breaking up with the drama, breaking up with the pain. That's a hard thing to do, but baby, that is what is going to bring you into your freedom, says Spirit. That is what is keeping you right now stuck in this fog. That's what's clearing. This is what's clearing so that you can come into alignment with your freedom. But just do your best and don't force yourself to try and do it if, move in ways that are hurtful because you're trying so hard to let it go or ignore it. Do your best. Just do your best to say goodbye. You don't have to go calling everybody and breaking up with them. You don't have to go leave your job today. But just do your best of in what it is that you have within you right now, because it will depend. It will change all the time depending on the state of energy that you are holding right now. Whether you slept, had a good night's sleep, whether you're tired at night and cranky, I mean, for sure. We all know it. We've seen children who are tired and cranky, and they are completely different than when they are wired and happy and excited, if they're hungry. Same with us, just as adults. If we're tired, if we're cranky, if we're sick, if we're happy, if we're upset, we're not going to show up in our truest, fullest, authentic self in those moments, but we can still show up as our best, right? Just like we were saying in the beginning, that channeled message at the very beginning, Aries energy is, how are you showing up? In all platforms, in all relationships, are you still holding true to your authentic self? Are you still holding true to your values? Are you still holding true to your alignment of of who you know, who you have been created to be, who you are in alignment with source, that source has created you to be? But that's okay if sometimes we go out of alignment. Sometimes we forget because we have been taught to forget our true authentic self, and we're not going to just up and be healed from our trauma if we've been traumatized for 30 years, if we've been holding on to trauma for 30 years, if we're clearing out this Saturn and Aries Saturn return after the last 30 years. It is not going to be an overnight, all of a sudden now I'm in my high priestess alignment freedom. No. Take your time, do your best, be gracious with yourself. But this is what you can start doing, taking the steps to say goodbye to the sadness and drama, taking the steps to not let that past hold you back anymore. Whatever that means, whether it's journaling to your inner child, whether it's going back to a particular situation and learning to radically accept that situation as best as you can, whether it's learning to express your love as best as you can, and whatever capacity you have right now, whether that's to apologize, whether that's to receive, whether that's to accept, allow, whether that's to walk away, whether that is to whatever it is for you. The best that you can do, sometimes the best we can do is just to breathe. Sometimes the best we can do is to cry. Sometimes the best we can do is to stay. Sometimes the best we can do is to go. And sometimes the best we can do is to pause and wait and hear and listen for the best next step. So, I hope that helps. This is a really beautiful message. It's okay to express your love. It is safe to release the pain. It is safe to let the guards and the walls down around your heart. It is safe to align with your true, authentic self. It is safe to tap into your freedom. It is safe to do your best. You are safe, beloved. Thank you, Spirit. I feel that. Ooh, I feel that. I receive that. I hope you feel it and receive it too. If you do, give this video 2 thumbs up. If you'd like to be a part of this vibe tribe, as we are continuing to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love, do subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can know whenever I go live. And until next time, my beautiful souls, my beautiful beloveds, thank you for everything. Thank you for always being here. And I trust that whoever needed to hear this message heard what they need to hear. You can always take a look back at my daily divine messages from Spirit playlist if anything else is resonating for you. But I will see you in the next moon. You Take care of yourself this week. Peace and love. Namaste. Bye.